All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here shifting over to Marvel Rivals. We are at the losers finals. We've got Team Trinity going against the BC Gators once again. I believe it's a first to two here in the losers finals, and find out who's going to face in the grand finals. So a lot riding on the line here for this match. And I'm on the mic with
before you attack.
Bowser.
Get ready.
Bowser. Welcome, my friend.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see this. This is my first time casting. My friends have asked me to do this before. I haven't had the opportunity. I'm not going to play for this match, but I'm really happy to be here and see what happens.
Excited to have you. But here we go, losers finals. All these teams come boiling down to this final match. A lot riding on the line for these guys. They want to make it to the grand finals, but they actually want to win this whole thing. So let's see if we can make it happen. Trinity starting off hot with the Thing and Magneto leading off for the Vanguards.
I see on BC Gators, we got Cold Ramen on the Thor. He loves playing Thor more than any other tank in the game. Along as Bone Daddy's right next to him playing tank as well. Deeply on DPS, something that he doesn't normally like to play, but he's really good at Moon Knight. I can't wait to see him go and eat up the backline with Moon Knight.
Daredevil does fall for Team Trinity, so they're going to kind of regroup back to the team. They are going to contest at the last second. And again, one of those things, the Thing has a big, pretty significant health pool, has to play very aggressively to be involved in the fight. And you're just talking about how Moon Knight can be a nuisance to the backline, finding another pick onto some of the strategists. And now it's going to be one of those things, they're just trying to hold it as long as they can, build up some of that percentage, build up some ult charge themselves. All the while, Bone Daddy coming in clutch with the Doctor Strange.
Yeah, with Trinity having a Thing on their roster, he's taking up a lot of space, giving a lot of ult charge to the Moon Knight in easy pickings because he's able to just hit that big target and it bounces around to everybody else, dealing massive damage and ult charge. There's ult already.
Yeah, Moon Knight popping ults in the corner. You see Reflex immediately trying to bounce back. And again, a lot of these players playing just recently playing in the Overwatch one, so already playing not as warm in the rival side of things, but still warm in terms of accuracy. Magneto got to be a little aggressive, going straight to the backline. Loki's just kind of keeping things to a screeching halt on the side of the Gators. But either which way, Invisible Woman popping ult onto the site, trying to keep things nice and healthy. But just when they say that, sliding in.
We see Invis ult come out. I hear Daredevil going out all over the place now that there's no support ults to cover.
Thor ult as well. Cold Hammer ripping the hammer down from the sky. Big damage on the backline. They get sedated for the time being. Okay, and Control flipping back over in favor of Trinity. It's a good start. It's one of those things I was kind of concerned whether they can actually hold that there, but either which way, still looking pretty solid here. Only at 55% for the Gators, so it's not an impossible task to come back from.
I see BC Gators already has 3 ults ready to go into this fight, but Trinity has 2 support ults, which can easily counter any of theirs.
But again, tons of ults on the side of Gators. They've got Moon Knight ult again. They've got the Eye of Agamotto for Bone Daddy. Maybe trying to make it happen. Maybe they'll go straight to the backline. They got to be real careful. Both support ultimates lying in wait. Can they make it happen? They're going to be able to get some picks off with the Daredevil, so maybe causing things for the time being.
I'm expecting next time a support ult to come out for this Magneto to go and use his ult to cancel it out.
Trying to dispose as many of these Loki clones as you can, but all the while Bone Daddy makes 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Reflex immediately going for some headshots. Again, accuracy really does make a big difference, and unfortunately, the Daredevil just overstaying their welcome, getting caught, overextending. Now, potential for a turnaround. We're putting on a show here. Brooks popping their ultimate as well to kind of keep their team nice and healthy and back to the payload.
I was worried.
I'm noticing a lot of aggressiveness from the Trinity team's Mantis as she's getting a lot of headshots early on, forcing their tanks to back off while also building more damage boost for their own team.
Yeah, the damage once I get the critical shots really does start to add up. So if you're not careful, you can really get caught off guard. I mean, despite having a huge health pool. And here we go, Bone Daddy maybe trying to make the aggressive angle. Thankfully, not popping Eyes Agamotto yet. Getting stunned back. Moon Knight getting a pick onto the backline, but just wait for it, equalizing up the pulls. Eye of Agamotto gets a couple caught in the ultimate, able to kind of circumvent the damage for the time being. Gene on the site as well, all in this overtime push, trying to find some picks, but it doesn't matter with Daredevil on the scene, just completely lighting up the kill feed, able to circumvent that push despite the ultimate charge that Gators wanted to go with. To no avail, not going to find success, and that's going to be a first point win on the side of Trinity. And Gators looking pretty competitive, all things considered, but again, just not able to circumvent some of the damage that Mantis can output.
Considering Trinity is having triple support, they might want to swap out certain characters, maybe try to counter that, find a way to still deal major damage and maybe burst kill a few characters so they don't have to worry about that triple support as much.
I've noticed that a lot of the successful teams, both with the #1 seeded team here and with Trinity, they're running that triple strategist. It's been kind of a thorn to their side because again, when you run those double vanguards, almost impossible to get those picks. And the accuracy that Reflex has been having with the Magneto kind of circumvents and adds additional damage to the overall pool.
Trinity's coming in with both Magneto and Thing ult. They could actually ult early to take point and keep Brazosport College off of it. Moon Knight's coming out on his own ult as well as Brazosport College's thing as well. Moon Knight ult's gonna be built really fast over here in the corner.
So again, yeah, Moon Knight ult. This has been a helpful start for Gators. So hopefully, Scoob can find this initial pick onto some of their supports. Again, 3 strategists is really tough to kind of deal with some of that healing. So hopefully, they can find a pick themselves. Bone Daddy getting super low has to relinquish the point for the time being. But no, that means a great start for Trinity. Even if they lose this fight, they got that early percentage lead.
Moon Knight comes out. Does he get anything? No, he gets frozen. Push back. Oh, geez. Magneto low in the back, but will they get him?
Oh, they do get rid of Bird, so now no more Daredevil on the scene. They're trying to flip it back over into their favor, but again, there's so many bodies. The thing, just pushing the ult button and just clobbering. You know what that means? Just clobbering time. It's going to be point back to my favor.
Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow, all destroyed by this Thing ult coming in, forcing them to back up while their tanks just get absolutely destroyed by this Moon Knight. I see Xavier, our little ex-Lord Loki up top. He loves playing high ground and pretending like he's one of the little AI Loki bots sitting on high ground, getting ready to deal massive damage and healing at the same time.
Yeah, you tend to ignore them, right? When they're kind of out of position like that, you don't really pay any mind to it, but you see they're still making the approach on that low ground, so they have to, make an approach at some point in time. Dark Razy getting pretty low as well on the thing. There's been a lot of damage being poured out, and now the wall scripting. Oh no! Unfortunate position for the wall to kind of come in, and it kind of cuts them off the rest of their team, but it doesn't matter. They still get a couple picks to equalize it. Now it's all tied up. I mean, seemingly 3-4, but and again, all the while Loki's just sitting up there watching from a high ground.
I see Trinity coming in with almost all six of their characters' ults. They're probably going to try to ult dump here a little to try to steal it back before Brazosport College can get too much of their point.
60% and counting, and here we go. We are undefeatable. It's pushed straight to the back line. An Invisible Woman ult on site as well, making things hard to do. Magneto, huge opening for their team. All the while, X-Lord just watching their team fall all around them. Not much they can do except pray that they don't find him as the real deal, and they do find him, and now it's just all up to Bone Daddy to be able to survive the onslaught, and the shield can only take you so far, just getting chopped down by the amount of damage that Dark Razy able to output with the thing. It's not too shabby because 78% for the Gators makes this almost a one-fight scenario, but do they have the opportunity to actually get the point back into their favor? And look how many ultimates we got lined up for the Gators. We got 5 ultimates for them. What wins can they use? Because again, you could save some of those ultimates for the following point. The subsequent point does stack over with your ultimate charge, so maybe you don't want to burn all 5 of them right here. Maybe they can circumvent, maybe win with just 2 or 3. But again, they need to make sure they win with it ultimates, with the commitment. Whatever they do, they got to make sure they make that decision, make it count.
Everybody popping ults. Oh my god. I'm expecting the Loki here to probably copy a support ult soon, considering Brazosport College doesn't have one in any on the field.
They do use 2 ultimates. They do get the picks, and again, they should be able to try to close this out. They do equalize the percentage just a bit. It's going to probably be tied, yeah, 77 to 78%, but it doesn't matter. BC Gators are in a really good spot, and if they can win the rest of this map without using the ultimates, that'd be huge going into the final point.
I'm going to expect the Moon Knight probably to try to cut off a few of their players using his ult, and there it is, keeping them all off point, getting a bunch of picks.
Feels better.
Yeah, and this is big. So now it's only down to 2 strategists, and now you lose your Daredevil as well, a 4v6 situation. So now, do you even want to try to commit any ultimates on point? No, they're going to want to hold on to it for the next fight.
Dead, Cloak dead, Mag dead. They're all gone. Cloak and Dagger, and Daredevil not able to make it back to point in time.
You know what, dude? You called it out. You automatically knew that that Moon Knight ult was going to come out, kind of split their team in half, and immediately they were able to kind of relinquish that point. And what a turnaround for the Gators, taking us to a final point here in map number 1. And again, this is only a first of 2, so you know, these maps can really get out of hand pretty quickly. Again,
coming into next point, I don't see any other swaps here, but I did notice after the last round started that Brazosport College did change up to be 3 tanks versus the 3 support lineup, which is actually a really good counter to make it where, as much as they don't have the damage, they have so much healing, they don't have the damage to kill these tanks that are going to be able to sit on point and tank everything, and there's just going to be too much for them to kill.
Yeah, you know, if you get to play, you know, old school Overwatch, this is essentially how you kind of circumvent that triple support meta, is you kind of stack up as many tanks as you can and force them to make changes in terms of damage. You gotta find a way to kind of eliminate us off the point, so it's important that they get this first point control, and if they can get that, they can kind of just sit on the point and just sit there and take up all that damage, all that healing, and it kind of stacks ultimates very, very quickly. I mean, look how many ultimates we got lined up for the Gators. They got 3 ultimates to work with, to play with, to be able to actually control point to start.
Both teams practically with 3 ults ready to go into this fight, but neither wanting to make the first move.
Ooh, and maybe not
Trinity
even
using
ultimates.
Bingle, catching the Doctor Strange off guard, out of place.
Yeah, now I mean,
Brazosport College is put into a really weird spot, unable to push without their extra tank.
Medicine.
slows things down. Moon Knight ult coming out from Bird this time around does get the pick themselves and recognizing, say, hey, you know what, this Moon Knight guy is pretty good. I'm gonna try him out, and he's been finding a lot of success already to start off this first point. 25%, and they haven't been able to, you know, they haven't been needing to use a whole lot of resources.
The poor Loki on the Brazosport team accidentally used his ult right in the middle of another Moon Knight ult, canceling out instantly. You hate to see it, really.
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate situations, but, you know, gotta just take those on the chin and just move forward, because again, it's only 40%, so there's still plenty of time to make that changes, make those adjustments. You see a kind of off-angle push for the Gators. They're trying to make some sort of approach which that can kind of split their team in half. Reflex getting dangerously low. I can imagine that heat ult maybe coming out sometime soon as well. But again, Bunny keeping things happening. Montes ult on site as well, but nothing, no success, no dice, no picks on the side of Gators. And it's going to be a regroup once again. No success.
Very split up.
Again, running back to spawn. They have 5 ultimates loaded, but again, you know, this is one of those questions, like, what ultimates do you want to try to use to win this team fight, but while saving some for the subsequent fight? But just when you think about that, you know, you don't want to undercommit ultimates, but, you know, now you're at danger of losing this first map.
Yeah, Brazosport College is going to be a little desperate to come on. I'm expecting them to immediately try to invis ult onto point. They're going to have to watch out for Magneto ult to immediately cancel out invis, maybe with a bubble from Magneto.
Magneto versus
And there it
Magneto
is.
ult. Okay, there's a woman coming
Magneto.
up. Reflex
Does she
popping
have
theirs.
bubble?
No bubble, and it doesn't matter. Able to circumvent that big damage and do commit quite a bit of ultimates. Moon Knight ult as well as the thing, so they're not going to be able to have a whole lot to be able to survive with, but they do still have the Eyes of Agamotto, thanks to Bone Daddy holding onto theirs, as well as Hammer Lord having access to Magneto's. Kind of can mitigate a lot of that incoming damage, right? Big opportunity here for them to kind of relinquish some of that life deficit, that percentage deficit. But again, Bone Daddy is kind of the talk of right now. Can you find an opening with this Doctor Strange? I mean, sure, it's been mitigating some of this damage, but you haven't been making the opening, making the plays that your team's needed. And he's going to try to spell an early Eye of Agamotto as well. So hopefully we can find that connection, find an early ult, and, you know, win it pretty cleanly.
Brazosport College sitting with 4 ults. They're all at a standstill waiting for someone to do something first. Moon Knight ult comes out from both sides. Are they going to get a pick?
Okay, they take care of one of the strategists, and now it's just a matter of Loki. Who's he going to try to duplicate? Hammerwood just trying to lay the hammer down, does lay the smack down, but saved by the bubble, and now it's just a matter of cleaning up the last few fights, and that's going to do it for map number 1. Trinity able to come in clutch, survive the Magneto ultimate, and making it completely useless from this point. 153 and a map 1 win for Trinity. Yeah, looking really dominant again. I mean, just one of those things, once they kind of get that point control, they never let it go.
That's what most of Control is about. If you have to be aggressive enough to take point and then have defensive characters in order to keep that without pushing too far. The second you go too far, get caught off guard, get caught out of place, you're immediately just destroyed by the enemy team. And that's what we just saw happen here with the Brazosport's Doctor Strange. Too far forward, he got it caught off guard. Moon Knight ult came out, catching them all out of place, all separated in their Moon Knight easily took out one of Brazosport's supports. We were down 1 for the rest of the match, and that was just it. There's nothing they could do about it.
It's such a delicate balance, right? Of trying to find, the aggression with the actual defensive position, so you're not, overextending, but you're still trying to take space, give your team a little room to breathe with. But either which way, hindsight's going to be 20/20. You can see the scoreboard right now. Everybody's kind of neck and neck. Everybody's very similar in terms of damage, in terms of healing output. Damage luck, people were swapping in and out of roles, so you see a lot of, varied stat lines, but either which way, they've been playing really well. So we're going to have to see which maps they want to decide with and which heroes they'll ban, and we'll come back to you in a little bit. All right, welcome back, everybody. We're here for map number 2. Looks like they selected Midtown, but for the time being, you can see the bans already set up for the teams. You got Gambit getting removed on the side of Trinity, as well as Cloak and Dagger, Luna, and what was that, Anna?
Invisible Woman.
Ew.
Yeah, and for BC Gators, they are unable to use their Doctor Strange, which was a big threat earlier on in the first match, as well as, surprisingly enough, Hulk, Elsa Bloodstone, and Gambit, who is a threat on any team uncontested.
Yeah, I've noticed Gambit kind of being the primary target of a lot of these bans. Some of the teams willing to use one of the saves for him, while at the same time, sometimes just saying, you know what, it's fine, we can go without it. But either which way, Dark Crazy already starting off hot with defensive, the thing, and, it's going to be important to get those picks on defense because you kind of force a standstill on the approach.
Both tanks already going out, caught out of place again, while Black Panther caught off guard and put right back into spawn. They're obviously trying to run some sort of heavy dive, but without all of them coordinating on a single target, it doesn't look like they're going to move much.
Yeah, you need to, I think, holding at the spawn doors is always a good strategy because, it gives your team time to regroup if you lose this fight. Because if you try to fight at the corner like that, you turn it into a 2-fight scenario. Meanwhile, if you fight really aggressive like this all the way in the front line, you turn it into a 3, possibly even 4, depending on if you're quick enough to get that regroup and, not staggering yourself all too much. And again, look at all these walls coming up from the group, just making things impossible to deal with. Bird, one of the flexible players. I mean, he's been playing, really strong DPS, and now you can see being a nuisance on the group as well.
We see Koob over here getting off of Black Panther immediately because you do not want to dive into Thing while triple support is sitting back there as well. You're not able to get damage in. He's taking away your movement. it's just not possible. And he immediately switched to Moon Knight, as is already within the amount of time of me saying that he switched. We saw Loki come out, Hootie copy. Us against the world, pushing to forward space with healing and damage for the enemy team.
Yeah, it's such a great way to kind of open up some space, and that's the great thing, because I mean, you don't have to worry about running that token back, and you can just duplicate it up. Either which way, Rocky Raccoon popping ult on site, gonna try to get rid of it as quickly as we can. Dark Crazy already finding a pick as well, so now taking advantage of that take advantage of that pick, and Bone Daddy falls as well. So now, no more Doctor Strange for Bone Daddy, and no more living for him either.
Daniel coming out of Trinity, catching everybody off guard. A few characters caught low in the back over here with Kai dying instantly. We see Koob over here getting really low, unable to get as much healing from just the Loki. Thor jumping back in, using his ult. Is he going to get anyone? No, just clones slept, but he's back out just as quickly. We see Emma Frosto immediately coming into play to be able to mind control and keep people off point, pull them away from their team.
Oh my goodness, Dark Crazy was trying to blend into the tree, but not going to be able to spot for too much longer. Immediately going to get rezzed up. Loki duplicate again. Who did he get this time? Uh-oh, and Magneto coming out from Reflex. He's going to go to find everything. Narrowly able to survive that explosion. That was a clutch block right there. Still able to keep their team alive, but now we're down to the final 45 seconds. So even if you wind up winning this fight, they still have a long way to go with this payload.
Yeah, with triple support on the other team, it's really hard for them to get the damage on this really long hallway. With all of the supports being able to obviously deal damage and heal at the same time, shooting from such a far distance, Brazosport College just can't get in there to make any space because nobody can die. Well, their tanks are healing perfectly. Group walls keeping people separated and
yeah, it's just the perfect, it's the perfect team comp, right? This is why it worked so well for so long back in Overwatch. Even the triple tank, triple support, triple Vanguard, triple strategist, make things impossible. You see Koob swapping over to the Punisher, just trying to find any bit of damage. They do get a desperation touch by Lord, playing on the Loki, but who's going to try to do this time? Just trying to find an opening. Rocky Raccoon ult again, just making all this damage, just amplified even more. Broken Dagger just trying to make some space, give him some room to breathe with smoke grenade, not going to be able to find any success. And again, it's going to be all on the backs of their team to be able to, stay grouped together and find a way to get some elims on this board. Because every single time they get that pick, they immediately get stressed up. Bone Daddy falls, no more Daddy for you, and you got to be careful. Koob falling super low as well, not going to be able to survive, not going to get an opportunity to pop their ultimate, and neither is Kay as everybody else falls, and now it's a matter of cleaning up the objective. One final target to clean, and that's going to be the end of their push attempt. Just shy of 67 meters, almost a number that we could have been dashing with, but still a dominant performance from Trinity.
Time to switch things up. Including which side.
Oof, that was really rough for Brazosport over here. I didn't notice until later on that it's actually triple support and triple tank, as you pointed it out, leaving no room for Brazosport to push at all. Too much health on all of their players, unable to dive the backline with all of this anti-dive on their team. I don't know how they're going to really defend with this unless they run the exact same comp of triple tank and triple support. It's going to be really difficult to keep them from pushing forward.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, it's really reliant on the player pools as well. Like, what can they play? Obviously, we saw Bone Daddy mainly sticking out on the Doctor Strange in that first map, trying their best with the thing, not able to find a whole lot of success with it. So now maybe trying to relinquish it, going over to the Groot as well. It's going to be a really hard-fought victory for them here if they want to try to make things happen. But they did kind of, allude to what you're saying, running the mirrored comp with the triple Vanguard, triple strategist. You've got to find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, I think the main part of Trinity's team that's working the most is that that Mantis with her damage boost, because not only is it a damage boost, it is an overall boost of their character. So giving that boost to even your supports is going to give you all of your teammates better healing in order to keep the team up and keep the enemies back at the same time.
Yeah, it gets really frustrating trying to deal with it, especially, you know, all the while that's happening, you have 3 full HP tanks sitting in front of you. So it's going to be a tough ask, but guess what? Gators think they're up for it. They're not going to go for that spawn door hold initially. They're actually going to try to hold for the corner as well. This is what I was talking about. I guess this one was in their mind. This is already going to be a one-fight win situation anyway, so might as well take it in a position where we feel a little bit more comfortable. A lot of damage being outputted from the Emma, but it doesn't matter because you still have that, you know, the storm sitting up top, just helping them with damage nonstop.
Yeah, with triple tank and triple support here, they don't have any really hit scan or anyone to hit that flying storm. It's just sitting there uncontested. And Moon Knight gets killed really quickly by Trinity team, attacking their backline, catching everybody off guard.
And I mean, the Rocket Raccoon ability only works for one person, and unfortunately they lost so many bodies on the point. And now it's just a matter of just getting this last little, you know, bit of meterage to close out the series, close out the set. It's only a first to 2, and that golden box of victory is very short coming, very easy to see. And that's going to be a 2-0 victory for Team Trinity as they move on into grand finals.
Oof, that was a little more intense than I thought it was going to be, honestly.
Yeah, you can see once they kind of got that comp dialed in, it was impossible for them to uproot. You see all off the backs of Dark Crazy as well, playing a crazy version of the thing and just been really annoying to deal with. So nice to see their team synergy really working well for them. Clean 2-0 victory. It's GG's all around. You see the players shaking hands. All right, you can see the scoreboard, but again, big GG's for everybody. We'll be about 10 minutes, and we'll be back here for grand finals. So stay tuned, stay locked in. Trinity got their work cut out for them. See you guys in a little bit.